You've seen these TikToks where they find a dirty looking rock and then they cut inside of it and it looks so colorful and mesmerizing. That's how I felt when I saw these fabrics. Something black and sticky, and inside is this. If this isn't magic, I don't know what is. And also it can be very dangerous. This is the process of batik printing in Iran. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about batik printing. Batik print is one of the many different types of hand printing on a fabric. It dates back to more than 2,500 years ago, the place where batik printing became famous and developed into a complete art form is here, the Java island in Indonesia. It became extremely famous and popular all through Asia, and it also made its way to Iran. And in this video, I wanted to show you the process of batik printing as we do it in Iran. This process is not exactly the same as the traditional Indonesian method. I'll explain it all when we get to the drawing of the design, but let's take it from the beginning. First of all, let me introduce my friend Reyhaneh. She is a full-on artist, a student handicrafts, has experience doing different traditional handicrafts, and now she's focused on batik printing. She was so kind to welcome us into her workshop, and she showed us the full process of her work from 0 to 100. So let's start with the 0. The blank canvas in this art is of course the fabric. In traditional batik printing, they use any kind of fabric for this technique: wool, cotton, silk. But in the method that we're gonna see today, silk is the best fabric. Silk is very durable and can withstand the beating it's gonna get in this technique. It has to survive a lot of heat and washing, and it absorbs and holds colors better. So the first stage before applying any patterns is to color the silk to any starting color that you want. Here are different buckets of diluted color. The fabric stays in the color for a certain amount of time to absorb the color uniformly. The more it stays, the more saturated the color turns out. You can see the differences in these examples. Then it has to be washed to get rid of any loose color pigment. After it dries, it's time to apply the first layer of pattern. The basics of it is this: the artist dips these patterns stamp into hot melted pitch and then stamps the fabric to apply the pitch. Why? Let me explain. In another video, we talk about the process of qalamkari in Iran. That process is a conventional relief printing. You start with the blank fabric and layer by layer, you stamp different colors on the fabric. Where the stamp covers the fabric with color will be that color. Very straightforward. But batik printing is doing the exact opposite. Here you mask out the places that you don't want to be colored. You start with coloring everything to the color that you want, and then you apply the pattern with the recessed substance to where you don't want to absorb color. Traditionally, they used wax, but in here Reyhaneh uses pitch, so it goes something like this. First you start with the white silk, you color it yellow, then you apply your pattern in wax or pitch. After that, for example, you color it blue or make it green. But the color doesn't affect where you put the recessed material. So when you wash it away, the pattern is gonna be yellow, your original color. And that can happen in more than just one layer of colors and patterns. Here, Reyhaneh is applying the first layer of patterns. First, she heats up and liquefies the pitch in this oven. She is wearing protective gloves because the liquid pitch is super hot. Then she dabs the stamp on the pitch and stamps the fabric. If you are interested in seeing the traditional way that the stamps are made, check out my qalamkari video. These are the same stamps that are used in that video. But Reyhaneh also makes some stamps herself in the workshop. It depends on the patterns she's going for. Traditionally, batik printing started with applying the wax pattern with hand and a special type of brushes and instruments. And later, they started using stamps like this. Also, the word batik probably comes from the Javanese word ambatik. Amba means writing and tik means dots, so it's writing with dots. When stamping hot peach, you have to do it on a blanket because peach is extra sticky, and even after a while, it starts sticking to the blanket. And I guess that's also how it doesn't let the paint reach the patterned parts. By the way, what she is stamping on here is one of my favorite lines of poetry. ای هیچ برای هیچ بر هیچ مپیچ. So, once the first layer of the stamps is done, it should dry and cool off before the next color is applied. Here, this fabric has gone through the first layer of stamping and now it's gonna get colored with blue to make it green. The place where the black peaches will turn out yellow later. The fabric will stay in the color for a while. These color buckets are all very flammable and dangerous too. So, yeah. After it's had enough, it should be thoroughly washed because if the loose pigment stay on the fabric, the next time it goes into a color bucket, it's going to ruin that color. Then it will dry off. Notice that it should be spread with as few wrinkles as possible because the color is not fully set yet, so color could gather more in the wrinkles and it would make the coloring uneven. So layer after layer is being built on each fabric, and honestly, the more the layers, the darker, uglier and stickier it gets because of so much peach. Honestly, look at it. If you have no idea, you would think it's some dirty rag from a body shop, but when it's all done, it's time to reveal the gem. It's time to remove the resist material and reveal the beautiful gem inside. It's a different process everywhere because of the different resist materials that are used. For example, wax can be removed by boiling in water, but peach is more resistant. It can dissolve in croissant that is an oil-based material. So here Reyhaneh has prepared the croissant in a pot. The dirty black fabrics go into the pot and after a few minutes of resting, the peach washes off. Not gonna lie, this substance has a pretty strong smell and it's very dangerous because it's very flammable. It catches on fire, so yeah, you gotta be careful. Now the fabric doesn't have any peach on it, but it's covered with a smelly, oily black croissant. So from there, directly to a washing machine to be washed with a lot of water and detergent. Now you see why it had to be silk. Silk is super strong and can withstand these extra hard conditions. There is these things that we have in Iran. When we make charity food, everybody comes and stirs the pot and makes a wish or a prayer so it would come true. اصلا این پارچه‌ها که من رو هم زدم همش میشه لباسی عروسی‌ها شادی‌ها خودم پولا برای خانم عربی بله تمامی انرژی هم با فروش کردم توی این بیرون. Finally, our beautiful diamond is emerging from the dirt. It's time for them to dry off. It looks so good, really mesmerizing. The mix of the different colors and the patterns with the glamoring quality of silk is very beautiful. And every part of the fabric looks unique. And that's a very big point of batik print. All the parts of the process involve the hands of the artist, and there are many things that happen that are very random. The way the pitch might sip from the edges of the stamp, or the random spilling of the pitch on the fabric. These are very random. Or the way that the fabric moves around and stretches and doesn't let you draw an exact line of patterns.
شعرش گفتی چیه؟
من مسئله عشقم و هوشیار نخواهم. اینجا من مسئله عشقم اینورش هوشیار نخواهم.
All this randomness adds up to the marvel at the end. That's why such a work doesn't get old that fast, because there is so much details to explore. And because of that, every piece of batik fabric is unique. Even if you use the same colors and stamps, it's gonna turn out very different every time, and it all adds to the value of a piece of batik print. And this uniqueness and handiwork, all of it done on real silk, makes these works not cheap. And this could be just a start, because now it's tailors' turn to make these raw fabrics into beautiful piece of clothing. By the way, this is the fabric with the poetry line. Looks very nice. And this is the one that we put in the blue color. You can see the yellow color where the peach was. I was so excited for the fabrics to go to the tailor and make a dress out of it. I even called and got an appointment. But little did I know. Just a few days after we filmed this, there was an accident. An electrical problem happened that made a spark, and a spark in this workshop is enough to cause a disaster. All the flammable colors and oil-based material caught on fire. Many of the works were lost, and a lot of material and a lot of raw fabric were lost too. So, yeah, not good. Thankfully, no one was hurt though. I guess not the ending I was looking forward to. Reyhaneh is now working on rebuilding the workshop and continuing creating beautiful works. Send as much love and positive energy as you can. Anyway, I hope you like learning about the process of this beautiful art. By the way, if you guys want to have a piece of this beautiful art, contact me. I can help you make your purchase. A big thanks to my friend Reyhaneh for showing us the process. And of course, a big thanks to you all for watching the video. And yet a bigger thank you for also liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That helps me a lot to get these videos out to more and more people. That's the best way of supporting the channel. Thank you, and see you in the next one.